From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason here at NTRL Esports, and a pleasure it is to have you live and in charge for a little Xfinity Series action this Sunday evening here for the Untitled Racing League. Of course, qualifying still finishing up. They got about 4 or 5 seconds left, but I tell you what, it's going to be a good race. Richmond is always a fun track. The 3/4 mile ready to go here. Joined to the broadcast booth, of course, and always, Kyle Grzech is making some waves out there, doing his research, making sure that we know what's going on with this league faster than ever. Kyle, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's the home track night for myself, so I'm excited.
A home track night, but not only that, I almost expected to see you out there racing, but it's always good to see that. See you up in the booth and be able to get you all worked in here and taken care of. Let's go over your starting grid for the race here at Richmond at No Toda Season 22 for the Xfinity Series. Davey Hendricks is going to be your pole sitter tonight. No doubt he's been fast and furious, and he's going to try to continue to have those winning ways that he has so far. Rob Hattenbach is going to be there in that outside pole position. Justin Malarkey, he was in the broadcast booth with me yesterday for that league versus league race. He's back at the mix, ready to go. And did he add any more colors today? I don't think that he did. I think he's still looking the same as he did last week. That's okay. Al Corey's going to be there to the outside in the 45. Jason Benson, Oliver Turin will make up the third row, and Kendall Kerr and John Campbell there in row number 4.
All right, starting in 9th is league owner Gary Sargent, followed by 10th place William Jester. You got Brandon Robinson in 11th, Alan Dixon in 12th. You got James Lawson in 13th. You got Emily Urias in 14th. We've got John Nodge Crutchley in 15th, and 16th is Douglas Kelly, in 17th is Brian Cooper, and in 18th is Kenny Sutherland.
Sutherland doing that. You see an extra name on there. He was registered for the race. He is not competing today, but we'll explain how the rules and regulations of this league goes over the course of this series. We love to see it. Race information for you here for Richmond. We're going to have 80-degree track temperatures. The 3/4 mile track's going to have 78 degrees on the air temperature. 82% humidity means for sticky conditions on the tires, but I've seen a lot of freeness in practice. Partly cloudy skies not playing a factor. The 9-mile-an-hour wind's going to go from the front stretch to the back stretch. So because it's a 3/4 mile track, I don't know that it's going to have that much of an effect on these drivers. So we'll see what happens here. No Toad Racing League on all platforms, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube for NTRL Esports, and check the link in the description for the No Toad Racing League. They do have their own YouTube channel out there. We are live on that as well. So if you're out there, put the chats in. I look forward to seeing it, and I look forward to going back and rereading what you have put out there. Also, we'll try to keep up on the live chat and the likes and follows as we go. Thank you to James Mandarin, of course, being out there. Joe Tardif, give us a follow. Sandra Neal, give us a follow. Maria, thank you for the like. Arslan, thank you for the like. Keegan, thank you for the like. Robert Dwight, thank you very much for what you do. Hoss Beverly, DF Scott for the follow. Whitey, CJ7, thank you so much. Ty B, your killer as well. Green flag's going to wave for 166 laps for these drivers. 65% fuel. 4 sets of tires in the mix as they roll the corner. Man, oh man, Richmond. We like Richmond. Richmond's got some great straightaway speed, and it could be anybody's race at any particular moment.
Yeah, very high tire wear racetrack where you really, really have to be careful on those tires. You got to make sure that you keep those under you, but also kind of maintain your track position, because if you get too far down in the pack, you're going to find yourself in a bad position later on in the race when potentially you do have good tires. So going into tonight, you're going to see a lot of people kind of coming and a lot of people going, just based on how well they're able to kind of keep the tires on them. You can kind of tell by their line, some of the people that are able to run that higher line and kind of cut down throughout the entirety of the run, they're going to be those people that you need to watch out for, being able to kind of keep those tires underneath of them. And yeah, we've seen them be single filed out pretty quickly all the way through the entire field here.
Egg shaping is what you're normally seeing out of this racetrack. You're going to see the
spinner in the back of Emily Urias.
Off the racing surface, still green flag racing here. A little damage for the driver. one fast repair, so that'll be something you can do. Very easy to go multiple laps down here once you get on pit road speeding. Pit road speeding penalty is sometimes an aspect whenever it comes to the green flag run. You see the 98 get out of the throttle there. The moment you're out of the throttle, you not only do you lose speed, but you lose a ton of that, not just track position, but the ability to have the drive into the corner. So you try to watch your braking zones and try to watch your dampening. Right now, 1-2, about 3/4 of a second over Justin Malarkey. Al Corey back there in fourth. The top 7 have not moved a spot. The 21 trying to hold on for a good line here and up to the wall on the start-finish line. You see that Gary Sargent, part of the ownership crew here. We see just how he's able to run in. I talk about egg shape. Egg shape means that you're going to run higher, dip in, a little wall tap from the 56 of Brandon Robinson up 2 positions behind. And you're going to see how the exit's going to be a little bit lower to be able to have that drive line in to have a straight line drive to the wall. That's basically what these drivers are looking at whenever they come down into the corner. They're going to be looking at that yellow line where they need to be here on board with the 28 here, with the 21 right there. You're wanting to put that right front at Richmond right next to, watch the egg shape. There's the egg shape. Comes out, exits a little lower, picks the start-finish line as his point to be next to the wall, and then gets back into the gas again. And a great drive by the 28 as these drivers continue to move. 8 of 166, longer race, 65% fuel. Fuel strategy is going to be a big factor here if they run green.
Yeah, the fuel range is kind of hard to get a read on what you can do here. If you're very, very conservative on your fuel, you might be able to, stretch it. I don't think it's going to be a simple one stop with fuel. On tires, it's going to be a whole different thing with the tire fall off. But I think they're going to be pretty good on fuel to kind of make it on an easy 2-stop, and I think the 2-stop is going to be the way to go when it comes to strategy. Fuel range, I've heard is as long as about 75 laps on fuel, and I've also heard as early as like 67. So a lot of different fuel numbers I've been hearing, but yeah, I think kind of the 2-stop is the way to go. But people are going to stay out and hope for a caution, and other people are going to kind of go for different strategies, whether that be an undercut or an overcut.
Especially if you can put a bunch of drivers a couple of laps down. That's going to be a big factor. Emily Urias back on the racetrack, getting some of that damage kind of knocked off there a little bit. Came to pit road and took about 1 minute and 4 seconds of repairs. Right now looking at 4 laps down at the moment, but anything can happen to this race, and we'll be able to make it work. James Lawson in the 66 off 3 from the start of the race. Brian Cooper up to the 96 rolling a little Iowa Hawkeye paint scheme right there on that Chevy Camaro. Scott Kelly to 34 directly in front of him has Naj in his sights. The 48 running, of course, the Naj 48 Lowe's throwback paint scheme here. I do like it. Little interesting flair for the Lowe's machine. Will Jester, the 74 off 2 from the start of the race. Alan Dixon to the 33 up 1. John Campbell off 2. The 117 was fast in practice. I'm looking forward to see what he's going to be able to do as he gets this racetrack underneath him and they continue to move. Brandon Robinson up 2. The 56 rolls the corner. Gary Sargent up 1. And the number 28, Oliver Turin right there in the double 2. Billy Yellow paint scheme going on right there. He's got some traffic in front of him. Jason Benson off 1. Kendall Kerr there to the side. Front stretch run for both of these drivers. A little side-by-side battle here for 6th as they get into the corner. 21 tries to drop in. He's going to do so. 42 is going to follow suit. 02 is going to be right behind him. Kendall Kerr up to 5th now, up to Al Corey right in 4th. Justin Malarkey in 3rd. Rob Hattenbach still in 2nd here, trying to track down the 88 of Davey Hendricks. Through your field you go. And that's the way it works. 15 to 166. We'll continue to keep track of these drivers as Alan Dixon goes to the inside of the 117 as the 117 drops another spot here. Gary Sargent and Brandon Robinson still trying to figure out who's going to do what. Faded TV on the Apex Racing Machine. Toyota next to a Ford down the back straightaway. Back straightaway, very short. Very, very, very short. And you have a lot less time to do anything with, especially get into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, looking up front, Robert Hottenbach is kind of just sticking to the back bumper of Davey Hendricks, but I'm seeing the line that Davey's running. Davey is kind of being very, very nice on the entries. He's not kind of washing up that kind of that entry of the corner, he's just kind of keeping that car steady and looks like he's kind of keeping the tires underneath of him. His line off of the corner, he's staying very steady, kind of that wash up to the wall, kind of keeping those rear tires under it, kind of cutting in a little bit early and just trying to get that rotation with the brakes. Not really abusing those tires. Like I said, Hottenbach seems to be kind of sliding a little bit, but he's still holding very pretty there with the 88 of Davey Hendricks. But looking back at Kendall Kerr, Kendall's gone up a couple positions. He is our previous year's champion. He made two really good moves and two very in very close proximity to each other on Jason Benson and Oliver Turin, moving up those two spots. He looks pretty strong here, and I kind of keep an eye on him going through the rest of the race here. You got Justin Malarkey, also third place, kind of running consistently. He's kind of one of those drivers that doesn't really make a lot of noise, but it always ends up near the front at the end of the race. Mentioned before, he helped you out with the broadcast previously, and behind him, Al Corey, another guy to look out for. Very, very good on tires. If anybody is just going to capitalize on somebody burning up their stuff, it's going to be Al, and especially if this comes down to a fuel race, he's going to be there right at the very end.
Looking at the way the 98's driving in the corner, being the race leader here is going to be the ultimate factor. Clean air is not necessarily clean air here. What we're seeing out of the 98 as you ride on board with him, as we keep taps of what he's trying to do to get in the corner, he is on the brakes a lot harder, and he's having to force the car to make the turns for him. 88, no doubt strong in here, but we'll see as they continue to move. You talk about Malarkey, you talk about Al Corey, about Kendall Kerr, of course, being last year's champion. I want to talk about points. That's going to be the ultimate factor here, and it has less and less to do with the current situation. So let's take a look. Race points are No Toad Racing League points after 6 of 12 events. Davey Hendricks leads with 4 wins, 5 top 5s and 5 top 10s, 6 starts for the series. Alan Dixon, Justin Malarkey, Jason Benson, all the way through 4th. And if we look at Alan Dixon and Malarkey, their point difference is separated by 1 point. Malarkey has a win in the series. Jason Benson has a win as well. But Alan Dixon was still searching for that first win here in the No Toad Racing League. But their points are pretty much 67 off of the race leader right now. Davey Hendricks showing what it takes to make it work. Al Corey, all the way to the back. He wants to find himself some more points here, and he's in 14th, 112 points. That's the difference in points, folks. You take a look at it, find your favorite driver. Make sure you give the shout-outs out there for him. We appreciate you as well. So No Toad Racing League Xfinity Series. There is Kendall Kerr, again, last year's champion. Davey Hendricks is your race leader, current points leader in the series, and it's going to take a whole lot to catch up to him. And no doubt they're going to be able to try to make it work and find the extra stint here. 24-166 as the 88 taps the wall there. Getting it at 3 and 4.
Yeah, right ahead of the two leaders there, you have Emily Urias, who's there 4 laps down. They're just now getting by James Lawson, who is potentially going to go 1 lap down here pretty soon, with Davey Hendricks closing up quickly. Yeah, Davey just having a really, really good year this year. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, probably won last time out. Very, very close leading into the final corner and spun. So he was very fired up about that, and he's kind of coming out here and looking to kind of do what Skylar Carnes did here last year, which was just come out and pretty much dominate from start to finish and kind of lead every lap. And he's looking like he's they're doing a pretty good job of doing that. So, yeah, just Davey doing really, really good in that Snickers car as he's starting to gap the 98 of Hottenbach as there's a wreck in the back straightaway.
Caution's going to come out here. Alan Dixon involved. Gary Sargent involved as well. Emily Urias out there. About a little love for our number 67 in the chat for me. I'd appreciate it if you did so. It does look like James Lawson's going to be your lucky dog this time by, as Emily Urias will be looking for a free pass. I don't know if she's going to stay out or if she's going to be looking at possibly getting one of those laps back. She went 5 laps down. She wants to be back to that 4 area. First caution of the race. Of course, all of my cautions brought to you by Nerds Doing Her Thing. Stick with it and watch that little video. No. 42 and 33 here. looked like they were this and Alan Dixon and the 42 had battled for a little bit there. It looks like he got tied off the corner. 42 is side by side as well. 33 trying to battle back. I think the 42 tapped the wall. He did. Oh no! And then Dixon goes around. Holy cow! As they make that work. Ooh, Gary Sargent gets into him as well. Oh goodness! Gary's gonna have to come in and get some of that nose fixed to maybe, hopefully, I don't know, maybe might take the fast repair. We'll see. We'll check on our drivers here. Everybody coming to pit road except for Al Corey and Oliver Turin.
That's potentially a good call there by Al Corey and Oliver. Just kind of keeping those tires. You only got 3 sets of tires in the pits for this race, so that's going to be very, very important coming down to the end of the race if you're able to kind of keep that single set of tires. I would be, I believe we'd see some people kind of only taking fuel only on this stop coming out of pit road here.
An extra set of tires. We got 4 sets. You start with the set, you have 4 sets of tires in the pits. If you're talking about 2 pit stops, this is still be close to a 2 pit stop race here. Even getting through the field, if they go, if they had 75 laps on their tires, or 70 lap fuel run here, I still think that's a little excessive. 50, 55, 60 laps might be more cautiously optimistic, even if you're trying to put yourself in position like Justin Malarkey did when he came in and took tires this last time by. Davey Hendricks took fuel. Rob Hattenbach took fuel. But Al Corey and Oliver Turin, they're going to be on their same strategy that they have right now, so we'll see what they're going to be able to do. Lucky Dog went around. Emily is going to be looking for a free pass here as she looks to help that iRacing pace car move around this racetrack. I do like it. And they're having some good fun here. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, Oliver and Al are very, very good at kind of keeping tires under them. Specifically, Al. Al just has done some incredible stuff with tire and fuel management. So I wouldn't be too concerned about him being up front on older tires here. I know we put 30 laps on the tires, but if cars behind him only took or didn't take any tires, or maybe just took 2 tires, he's still going to be pretty equal, kind of leaving towards the middle part of the run, I believe.
We shall see what's going to happen here. We know that aggressiveness, quote unquote, goes around. Being aggressive can force you to go around, but I tell you what, I don't think that's an issue. There's Dixon. He's going to go ahead and take just getting a little bit of that damage repaired. He did not take a fast repair, so saving that for the end. There's the 66 of James Lawson. Looks like he is at the back of the field as well. I like the no-toed paint scheme on the 66. I do like seeing that big old logo on the top of that. Speaking of logos, there they are. Want to make sure we're throwing those out there. 45, 2, 88, 98, the 97, 48, 21, 96, 117, 42 is going to be your top 10 as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. You see Hattenbach up there in the 98, all over the back bumper of the 2, maybe trying to pull a good restart here, get a little slide job on the 88. We shall see. Fuel strategy, tire strategy, it's all out the window. Kendall Kerr taking tires this last time by. Jason Benson doing so as well. Man, different situations here. 45 goes.
Yeah, Al Corey gets a big jump there. He kind of gets out to a bit of a lead. We're going to see Davey Hendricks get to the inside of Oliver Turin, so it's going to be pretty much a straight fight here between Davey and Al Corey there coming off the corner, as we see the 96 getting very, very high in the back. They all keep it clear. They're 3 wide in the back, but they're singled out. Up front, Oliver Turin able to hang along the outside there of the 88 of Davey Hendricks. Davey looking on the inside, getting a really, really good entrance as we see the 98 take avoiding accident of trying to get in the back bumper of Oliver there. Oliver coming off the corner there is going to be side by side with Justin Malarkey, who you said took fresh tires on that last stop. He's going to be in a good position here if this stays out for a long green flag run. It's going to kind of give himself a very big gap until the pit stop. So he's kind of sitting on a throne here if this stays green. So Davey Hendricks kind of getting a good run here and going to look on the inside of Al Corey. Dives on the inside. Corey goes high to kind of give him room. Corey's going to get right back to the outside. Is not able to pull him on the straightaway. Davey's going to clear and looks like he's going to get the lead into turn 1.
Hendricks, high side. Malarkey trying to battle back. Al Corey in third. Oliver Turn in fourth. Kendall Kerr in fifth right now. So different strategies trying to make it work. Al Corey in the 45 and the double odd two. They're going to be looking at some past positions here as the 21 drops to the inside. You watched Rob in the 98 get himself into the wall a little bit there during the restart of that race. He was running the high side and dang near slammed into the back of the double odd two of Oliver Turin. So great accident avoidance. We'll see if he tries to make the front stretch work for him as he drops right back into the race. 97 to the inside, battle for the lead. Malarkey goes for it. 88 is going to let him go. I don't think there's much of a battle there when it comes to tires, and we'll see if Malarkey can extend the lead here and push with those new tires as Kendall Kerr looks to try to do the same thing.
Yeah, Malarkey and Kendall with those fresh tires. Like I said, if it stays green, they're going to be sitting very, very pretty. Typically, when you see these short track races, I think if they don't get a green flag run kind of off the bat, and you get kind of these repetitive cautions, you can kind of see a kind of a repetition where you kind of get into the first corner and a couple people make mistakes and then kind of hit each other and cause these cautions. But we seem like we're doing a pretty good job here of staying green, and I kind of bet on this staying green at least for a while. Kendall looks on the inside of Al Corey. Looks like he's going to get it off of turn two. It looks like Al Corey gave the position up. So Davy's going to be under pressure here from the 21 of defending champion Kendall Kerr. Kendall made his debut for this season last weekend, so this is his second race out. So hopefully he can do a good showing for this season, get a strong finish to the year, and kind of show why he was the champion last year.
Biggest mover of the race, Scott Kelly up 10 spots. Nodge trying to get back into the mix as well. He is up 7 as well. He's into 8th right now behind the double odd two. So we're seeing where some of the older tires, maybe a little heavy, little weight to be heavy here for heavier when it comes to the fuel strategy. The lighter the car, the more it kind of moves around. Typically, you need that weight for the downforce on the rear tires of these cars to be able to have that extra grip to get into the corners. It also helps the nose slide forward. Fuel cells in these cars don't have any sloshing. So if you think about how your gas tank works in your automobile out there, you have your gas actually will move back and forth depending on when you brake and whatnot. These things are so aerodynamically friendly. Fuel cells have a whole bunch of what basically kind of in the realm of what they would consider foam or it soaks up the fuel. So when they call it a fuel cell, that fuel cell is not sloshing around. When you get a fuel leak on these cars, it usually is inside the lines, and that's why you see NASCAR and all the safety crews take very big precedence on any fuel that spills out, because normally they used to have big old fuel tanks in there, and then you would see big spills, but not so much anymore. More oil and brake fluid that you see on racetracks anymore. Davey Hendricks about 2.5 seconds back, or pretty close to it, 2.1 right now. Kendall Kerr into third, Al Corey into fourth right now. Corey's still holding on, even with those older tires. So we're going to see what he's going to be able to do over the course of this race with that. Scott Kelly up to fifth now, up 11 spots, as Brian Cooper tries to hold on. Nodge went back a couple of spots there, and he was up 7 to 8th, and now a few other drivers getting around. So Nodge trying to hold on to it. Brandon Robinson to the 56 there to the inside of the double lot two. And, man, tell you what, they're moving. They're having some fun. This track can be really fun when it comes to getting into your drive lines and having some fun. Here's a little static cam action for you as these drivers start to make some things work. 47 to 166. It's a great racetrack. I really like Richmond. I know that's your home track, but Richmond it is a ton of fun, especially at the B cars. The Xfinity cars here on iRacing has been a huge additive to the ability to still be able to drive the cars. You don't feel like you're having to just have that cookie cutter feel. Sometimes you feel that in some of these cars, and I think the B car pretty much does not limit us to that over the course of the series.
Yeah, I have plenty of experience here doing B-class cars and doing the 87 cars. So Yeah, I have plenty of memories of being here in real life. I've been going here since about 2006, and I went to the last race here, and I plan on going to the next race this year. So I've been here for a bunch of different stuff. I've been here for the Kyle Busch Dale Jr. thing, going into turn 2, seeing all the or turn 4, seeing all the 162,000 people getting on their feet and being collectively mad at Kyle Busch. And I've been here for Spingate and a bunch of other crazy things. So this is a track that's very special to me, to kind of be able to at least race here virtually and know that I live 15 minutes down the road when I'm doing my races here. But Brian Cooper, unfortunately, is disconnected from the race. Kind of pulled off there. Might have had an issue that he needed to go handle. I wanted to give a shout out to Matt Parasini, who in the YouTube chat wished everyone a good luck. He's just won the last ARCA race we did last Monday at USA. So yeah, he's on fire this week, and hopefully not on fire in the campsite. Big William Byron fan, so usually see him out here in the 24, but he's missing that this Sunday to enjoy some quality time with his wife. So
Speaking of wives,
happy vacation to him.
I've got to give a big shout out to Andrew Tenold. Andrew Tenold yesterday had a baby, and he and his wife are in the hospital. And Andrew, if you go back and you listen to this, or when you go back and listen to this, congratulations on a beautiful child. Good luck on being the newest daddy. I have seen birthdays. I have seen graduations through the iRacing platform, and I've seen, this is probably, I want to say, I was trying to do the math earlier. I know it's over a dozen kids that I've seen born, and it's super awesome to see folks doing that. So, Matt, appreciate you being in the chat, of course, but also, last week we wished a birthday. Today we get to wish a new birthday, a brand new birthday, to the Tenold family. So, congratulations to them. Story here right now, though, we've been following along with Rob Hattenbach in the 98. Your outside pole sitter's got some left and right side damage. I watched Will Jester go around him in the 74, and he's looking a little bit faster as well. He's trying to track down Al Corey, who was falling back to 5th as Scott Kelly worked his way around. This is the difference in the strategy and the difference in the tire wear right now. 4.2 seconds for the 97 over Davey Hendricks. Hendricks about to be under fire from the 21.
Yeah, Kendall just kind of keeping pace there with his fresh tires there. You really don't know what's going on behind the wheel of Justin Malarkey. It doesn't look like he's using his tires up, but Kendall could be very, very smart here and kind of keep the tires underneath of him. I wouldn't underestimate him for a minute. Malarkey just getting by Emily Arias, just putting them a lap down. He's coming up here on Alan Dixon, who was involved in the last accident, and also coming up here on the 42 of Jason Benson, who Arctic Zelda in the YouTube chat says go 42. So Mr. Jason Benson here is going to have to fight pretty hard here to stay on the lead lap. Looks like he did not pit on this last time out, so Malarkey looks like he's going to have a good shot here and get by pretty cleanly and quickly. Davey's holding pretty good here for being on older tires with Kendall kind of coming up behind him. That 4.3 second lead that Malarkey has. Kendall's just doing a really, really good job of, Davey's doing a really, really good job of holding on to that 1.1 second gap over Kendall.
Fastest driver on the racetrack right now is Davey Hendricks, but only by 4/100ths of a second as Malarkey went around some lap traffic there. Malarkey has been the fastest on the racetrack. Here's a look at your lap times at the bottom of your screen to he and Davey Hendricks. This time by 23.489 for Malarkey. Hendricks 0.3 of a second slower. So 57.58 lap traffic playing a factor. 55.56 a little bit faster for Malarkey. About a tenth and a half on 56, and on 59 0.3 of a second looking at being looked at here. And we'll see how Davey Hendricks is going to be able to fare out with the lap traffic he has himself. 67 to the outside. Kerr better on every lap other than 56, and including this time by Kerr pulls a 1/4 of a second on lap 60 as you see him coming to the relative behind the 21 side by side with the 67 trying to hold on to some lap pace. She goes up to 15th now as James Lawson looks to be out of the race as well. Cooper's going to be out. Sutherland, of course, out there. Running the numbers for us. So thank you to all the folks out there. Malarkey out there, 5.2 seconds and gaining. Big story here, 88 and the 21.
Yeah, and the YouTube chat talking about Davey and Kendall. Behind them, we've got Douglas Kelly in 4th position doing a really, really good job. But behind them, we've got Al Corey, who Ileana Speed Hamilton, competitor in this series and also in ARCA, just said, let's go Rafter. And Rafter doesn't like people rooting for him or cheering for him. So if anything bad happens to him, we can pin the curse on to Ileana Hamilton.
Well, I tell you what, nothing bad about having fans, that's for sure. That's what this sport's all about, having fans. Not just in the regular NASCAR series, but also in the aforementioned iRacing simulation experience. Will Jester having a great day. Scott Kelly having the most impactful day right now, up 12 as Kelly goes around. And you said Douglas Kelly, and on the relative that I have here, it's Scott Kelly on my screen. So if I say Scott Kelly, that's what I mean. I think it says it over his door as well. So if he goes by Douglas, I do apologize. I just kind of read my screen a little bit here and take the numbers. 24.15 for the 34 on his last lap, and he is still trying to track down Justin Malarkey a little bit more time. But Al Corey getting a little bit faster as well. We're talking about 0.2 of a second over the course of the last lap. We'll see if Kelly picks up the pace because lap traffic was a part of that as well. And we're going to see lap traffic pretty much from this moment going forward as Hattenbach is in 8th. He picks up another spot to go back from 9th to 8th. John Campbell trying to get himself back to 8th spot right now and has Gary Sargent right behind the 10th place car. Once 9th back as he's there to the inside of the 117 high. And now Campbell knows that behind him, he's got the race leader and he wants, double out 2 to the wall. Down to the bottom, no caution, able to keep it straight, maybe coming down to pit road this time by a little free off the corner as Turin looks at pit road now and says, you know what, I'm going to have to come in now. I think this is the time.
Yeah, Ollie there just coming down pit road. He's going to go about 2 laps down pitting, but he is going to have really, really quick tires coming out of the pits. If he can kind of stay out there and make the strategy work, he is going to kind of force the hand of some other people who are going to react to what he is doing. I don't think we're going to see Justin Malarkey react to what he is doing quite yet, but you can kind of see some of the drivers near him pitting as we hear the 42 of Jason Benson is pitting in, who's a lap down.
Benson didn't take tires. This will be his first pit stop here, and kind of held on to work with the 45 of Al Corey whenever it came to the restart. Corey's had the most benefit out of this. He's been able to hold on. He still needs to come to pit road at some point for at least fuel. 70 laps in right now. Maybe try to take it to the halfway mark. We'll see what he does. Justin Malarkey inside the 28, still battling back and forth. 3.9 seconds the gap. It was almost 5.2. And I tell you what, Gary's not making it easy on the 97 to get around.
Yeah, Gary's holding on the outside. He's getting a little bit loose off turn 2 as we see Malarkey kind of getting a good exit there off the corner. But yeah, getting very close there on the backstretch with him kind of getting that kind of the weightlessness of the banking kind of going away as you exit onto the backstretch and got a little bit loose and kind of overcorrected a little bit and got very, very close to Malarkey. We've had a couple incidents last race and a little bit in today's race where we've seen a little bit of netcode coming to play there. Davey Hendricks is coming up on John Nodge Crushley. Just kind of caught him at a bad spot. Nodge was on the bottom lane entering the corner. As we see that there was a problem there for Ollie Turin, who was for some reason on the apron there. Looking back, he spun midway through the front stretch and went into the grass, but saved it. That was a very, very weird incident there for himself. Looks like on lap 66 or 68, sorry.
Al Corey to pit road. He's going to be leaving pit road this time by Justin Malarkey out front. Now extending that lead. Davey Hendricks here. Kendall Kerr in the 21. Still right there behind the 88. Scott Kelly in 4th. Will Jester in 5th. Tell you what, a whole lot of the field moving around. We'll take a look and see what the 45 and the 42 are going to be doing here. 42 will be 2 laps down. Corey's going to be 2 laps down as well. Alan Dixon first, the last car 1 lap down, but the first car 1 lap down right now is going to be Gary Sargent, who no doubt will come around at 75 here. Most of these drivers in the front 11 came to pit road on lap 28, so we're going to see what the difference on pit strategy is going to be here. They will not be able to make it to the end, so at least another pit stop for every driver in here. But this might be they've ran 42 laps or 43 laps pretty much of green flag runs here, and as we start seeing that separation, especially with Al Corey here, who's a little ahead of Jason Benson here by about 19 seconds. You're going to start seeing where that fine line's going to be and how they're going to be able to try to hold on to it. You don't see the 45 up next to the wall until he gets into the entrance. Is that a line change so that way he's going to be able to utilize some of these fresh tires to catch up with some of that pace?
Yeah, you just need to focus on getting those exits, and right there, he's definitely focusing on that exit coming off the corner, carrying a lot of speed down the front straightaway, which he can kind of take into the braking zone into turn 1 and just kind of let off maybe a tad bit early and be able to coast in. But yeah, just that's all you need to really focus on a lot of these racetracks is just focus on your exit. If you're able to just get a good exit, carry speed down the corner, I think on almost every single oval, that's just going to be beneficial to your strategy. And with how Al races, he's going to be able to keep that right front underneath of him and make sure that he's not tearing his stuff up too much. Even though he is running the high line, he'll be able to kind of keep those tires underneath of him.
Overhead view of what it looks like for these drivers. As you see, Corey making passes pretty easily here. This is the same thing that happened to Malarkey a while back. But you see kind of, and this is a good view for an overhead view on what the entrance and exit of a line would be. You see Al Corey get in, he drifts up the racetrack to the second line, exits very low, and then puts himself right next to the wall by the Richmond sign over there. I know he's a little speck on your map right there, but he is a speck on the race line right there. But the 45 really doing a fantastic job. Let's ride along with Will Jester as he is going to be right in front of the old 45, 34, I'm sorry, the 74 here. Out of the gas really early, trying to pull that car all the way down. He got the tires right next to the yellow line. You kind of have to watch the exit here when it comes to finding your throttle position and whether you're fast or consistent. This is what we're seeing. These cars feel like they drive slow on this racetrack, and then it's just the throttle control these drivers are trying to pull. 74, 42, 45. 42 catching some pace here as he gets around the 74. You know what, Al Corey's just moving. Jason Benson falls a lap down to Corey.
Yeah, you're just seeing the effects of just tire wear here, and some of those drivers that are just kind of staying out and being able to stretch these runs. Fresh tires are undoubtedly just going to be faster, but if you kind of get those tires, when those other people pit, they're going to be faster than you when they come out, but you're going to have a buffer. So when you do these early pits, you're just mainly focusing on having that buffer be as big as possible. So when you do come off of pit road, you're able to have a comfortable enough gap to where you guys can equalize on your tire wear, and you can be ahead of them when that equalization does happen.
Hendricks to pit road into his pit stall here. Malarkey comes around. He's going to put him a lap down. Very, like we said, very easy to be a lap or two down, but Hendricks will start becoming faster and faster as well. We'll see who's going to be able to pull some pace. There's Hattenbach right there, the 98. Came to pit road again on 28, so we're seeing a lot of these drivers start figuring out where they're going to be doing. I think Davey is coming in at his halfway mark. Justin Malarkey, I think, I don't know, Davey Hendricks might be looking at this. He came in on 85. His pit stop prior to that was on 28 for fuel, and so now he's going to have tires and fuel, so he's going to be super fast and super furious here, and try to pull that 4.5 second back. That 4.5 seconds back. He is a lap down. He's got Al Corey in front of him that he's going to be trying to track down. There's the 45 with him. Big difference in strategy here. Malarkey out by 5.7 seconds over Kendall Kerr. A lot of drivers still need to come to pit road, and we'll see who's going to be able to do it. Corey's going to go back a spot to Davey Hendricks as they battle a little bit here. Notch comes to pit road as we keep rolling for the green flag pit stops here. Maybe an opportunity. I don't know. They've got 81. We're looking at 79 laps to go. Still maybe a splash and go in order for some of these drivers. We'll see how it works, folks. They've been killing it. Davey Hendricks, fastest lap of the race last time by 22.52.
Yeah, Davey's run here has just been absolutely incredible. The fact that he was able to kind of stick behind Justin Malarkey and ahead of Kendall Kerr that entire run and still be 5 seconds within Malarkey and just hold the pace there with about 30 lap old tires. That's just incredible. The pace that he's going to set here on these fresh tires are going to be just insane. It looks like Malarkey might just be staying out front and just kind of throwing a Hail Mary here and hoping he gets a caution before Davey gets back on the lead lap. Or maybe just kind of extending long so he can kind of have the fresher tires on Davey once again. So hopefully he can capitalize on those. But yeah, with kind of the gap that Davey has on the rest of the field in the point standings, this is one of those situations to where if you can pin him a lap down and have a caution come out and force him to take a wave around and where he doesn't get the free pass, and you can get fresh tires, you're going to put him back in the same situation that he was just in, where he's on older tires and you're on fresher tires. So that could be one of the strategies here, where you just kind of throw one of those Hail Marys. And as was said during the broadcast today, you have to be not scared of losing a race to potentially win a race sometimes. So that's potentially could be the strategy being pulled by Malarkey or Kendall here.
I think Malarkey is doing what he did correctly. Came to get tires and fuel. He can run all the way to about 96 to lap 100, which means he's only going to need one more pit stop, and he's going to run as long as he can. Davey Hendricks might be the one that just pulled a Hail Mary there, considering he needed tires there to be able to try to pull some pace. A lot of lap traffic involved here. Kendall Kerr's doing the same thing. Scott Kelly doing the same thing. All these drivers came in to get tires and fuel, and that's exactly what they're going to be looking at. So we'll have to see how it cycles out. No doubt Davey Hendricks, of course, he's very close to, he's going around Kendall Kerr right now. He's very close to getting his lap back, but 92 of 166 still puts the advantage on tires to Malarkey. See, Hendricks comes in on 82. That's 11 lap fresher tires. Even if he stays out for another 20 laps or another 10 laps, he's still going to be looking at the same situation. Hendricks doing what he does best, trying to get out there and win a race. And Rob Hattenbach is doing the same thing. Hattenbach has been able to get himself back into the mix, but he still needs to come to pit road as well. And that's a huge look at what he's got going on. Al Corey catching back up for 6th. So we're going to see drivers who are a lap down right now look at possibly going to try to find more pace here to get themselves back on that lead lap later on. 34 he's very close to being lapped here, about 5 seconds away from that. But I think he'll come to pit road prior to that happening. Right now, we're going to be very close to 70 laps to go, and a fuel cycle kind of fits in that window.
Yeah, Malarkey running long here as we see Alan Dixon pull on the inside of the back straightaway in tow. It looks like something happened there with the 33. Yeah, talking about Hattenbach. Hattenbach seems like he's made a contact with the wall a couple times. I know he had some contact as we see him come down pit road to pit here. Yeah, Hattenbach had some contact a couple times during this race, just kind of getting into the wall. So potentially that kind of taking a toll on his pace here as we see him pitting, and he's going to go about 3 laps down here. And he's going to fall pretty far down here, and his hopes of kind of getting back on the lead lap might be falling away as Davey has pitted maybe within 10 laps of Hattenbach here. So he's gonna have to outpace Davey here to be able to get back on the lead lap. But so we look up front, we see Justin Malarkey here getting into a 3-wide situation with Davey Hendricks, and Davey's going to look at getting his lap back. So now Davey has gone back onto the lead lap. He is now put it into the situation where Justin might have to react here and pit just to kind of salvage as the risk of the strategy staying out has kind of gone away, as Davey will be able to pit and get fresh tires at the same time as Malarkey, as we see Malarkey kind of take a shallow entrance here. I'm not sure if he's pitting. He is not.
Malarkey's been trying to get around the double I-2 for a moment here, and this is the difference on older tires and being able to defend the high line. Davey Hendricks goes to second here, 22 seconds back. Malarkey, even if he goes to pit road and goes a lap down, Hendricks still has to come to pit road, and that's still a lap that Malarkey will get back on fresher tires. His lap time right now, 24.30, about 1.1 second difference between Davey Hendricks and Justin Malarkey from first to second. But Malarkey, and we're defending drivers here where it comes to strategy, and I still think Davey needs to save a little bit of fuel, especially with those fresh tires. Now would be an opportunity for that to happen. Al Corey in that 45, making that third spot work. John Campbell to the 117, still up 4. Scott Kelly, still your biggest mover of the race, up 8. As he gets back off of pit road on lap 97, that might be a driver you need to look at here because he should be fine on fuel.
Looking here at the entire field, Justin Malarkey has everybody except for Davey Hendricks 1 lap down. Very, very interesting for if a caution came out. That would leave a good portion of the field stuck at least 1 lap down with Jester, Robinson, Kelly, Benson, Hottenbach, Crutchley, Sargent, Turin, and Dixon and Urias all multiple laps down. So, yeah, all those drivers would be at least 1 lap down if a caution came out right now.
Alan Dixon went off track, came back on track, and had to jump back to pit road. So something happening with that 33. Malarkey out front does look like, I was just looking at somebody moving. There it is. I was talking about, there's the 34 going around the 45. So Al Corey in third. He's going to be your lucky dog in this situation. Kendall Kerr came in on 96, though, so he's going to be trying to put a dampening on that as well. Kendall Kerr, another opportunistic driver here, trying to find that opportunity as he tracks down Al Corey 3.3 in front of him. Kendall came in on 96, so he's got 14 lap fresher tires in Davey Hendricks. Malarkey still holds an 18-second lead over Hendricks. It's going to take 48 seconds on pit road for the most part for all of the for the average pit stop time. And Malarkey, being that he was in third, doesn't have that goose off. He's going to come to pit road this time by. We'll see, make sure that he does not get that pit road speeding penalty. He's going to be down to pit road speed, I do believe. I think pit road speed is 45 miles an hour. So Davey Hendricks is going to take over the lead, 18.2 back. He's just got to get around this racetrack and hold on to it for dang old goodness here. And is going to do so. So we'll see what happens to Malarkey as he finds his pit lane time and his pit stop time working that way. I will keep an eye on his relative here to make sure he didn't get a pit road speeding penalty. Everybody has an extra set of tires here. Nobody's really utilized all 4 sets yet, so we're going to really have to pay attention to that as Malarkey has a fantastic pit stop and gets himself out on the racetrack. He will be a lap down, though. Or very close to a lap down. 16.5 seconds the difference. There's the 2 and 3 wide situation for the 88 as the 48 rolls the bottom lane. 42 trying to go around. Jason Benson trying to find more pace. And I tell you what, he and Naj have been going at it for a moment too, right here behind the race leader.
Yeah, Naj, we race with Naj a lot, and we've been telling him that he needs to be a little less courteous and needs to start racing a little bit more. He's one of those drivers that kind of catch to him and he kind of pulls over and lets you go by. We've been trying to get the whip on him and tell him to go get after it a little bit more, and you saw right there he got after it a little bit more.
Hendricks, Kerr, Corey, Malarkey, that's going to be your top 4. All the drivers that are on the lead lap right now, that's the only 4. Will Jester would be your lucky dog in the case of a caution. Scott Kelly's going to be a lap down at Robinson, and the 98's going to be a lap down as well. 48, 42, 28, double lot 2, 117, all 2 laps down as we look at what's going on with the 42 and the 28. Little right side for Gary as they continue to push more boundaries here. Driveline is changing for each of these drivers, and the reason why it's changing is because, well, there's a whole different cycle going on here. Fastest driver on the racetrack right now, 22.87. The difference on tires, 22 laps. Hendricks.
Yeah,
Hendricks is he's I'm trying to hear if he's clutching in here. He's not.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how comfortable he feels on the fuel here. I think if he's able to kind of get it this long into the run, we could potentially just see him do that single stop as you mentioned previously. So so yeah, he might be sitting in a good position here, but he does. Oh, he's pitting this time.
56 laps to go. Needs to make sure he has fuel. Al Corey to third. Malarkey in third right now. Got around Al Corey pretty quickly. Kendall Kerr is going to take over the lead. He's going to go around Davey Hendricks. So last year's champion is going to be trying to hold on to the race lead here as the 97 tries to back up the corner, gets around the double out two. The driver he battled so hard with earlier, 56, a little free off the corner, gets into the wall just a little bit in front of him. Brandon Robinson having a decent drive up 4 here. And Scott Kelly still works the biggest mover of the race. He's up to 4th now as Davey Hendricks drops back into the field. And now we're going to be seeing a different kind of pit strategy for Davey Hendricks. Now, Davey's a lap down, and his tires are within about 6 laps of Justin Malarkey. So he came at a 110. He went ahead and took tires. He's got fuel. Kendall Kerr came at a 96. Might be close on fuel. We don't really know if he's going to be able to push as much as he wants. But Kendall Kerr.
Oh, Davey spins.
Oh, Davey Hendricks involved. Holy cow! Got into the 56 here, and a caution's going to come out. So there it is. Unfortunate circumstances. And Hendricks was a lap down as well. Hatbox going to be your lucky dog here. So we were getting around to it. Man, they didn't even give us a chance.
Yeah, Davey was entering turn 1, was really trying to get after it there. Kind of get a gap on the mark. He just got in the back end, started to step out just a little bit. Either having a little bit too much brake or just having too much speed, relying too much on the rear tire to kind of slow you down. Started to spin there and actually caught the 97 of Malarkey a little bit in the door and got hit by the 56 of Brandon Robinson.
Let's take a look at the replay here so you understand what they're talking about. 88 gets up to speed here, heavy into the brakes, he's free into the corner. He's sideways into the corner, and the 97 just slows down to go around. That's all that was going on. 97 saw the pace behind. Here's a look from Justin Malarkey's point of view here. Malarkey's still on good tires here. He's into the braking. He sees the 88 brake. He sees him sideways. He's out of the gas, and then just a little clip from the 88. Nothing doing, just trying to avoid the incident there. But he is going to be a little bit sideways, so he's going to have to take that fast repair. He did. He had to take the fast repair. That damage from the 88 put the right rear of Malarkey's tire kind of in a bad predicament there. But you know what? It is what it is. Hendricks to pit road this time by as a lap down car. That's not something you see normally. And so we will see what's going to happen here as he comes to pit road. Needs a little help. Scott Kelly, though, 34. He's in the lead. He's up 15 spots. Will Jester, the 74, he's up 8. They both came to pit road on 97 and 89. Malarkey came out of 114. Kerr on 114. Corey on 114. All these drivers looking to have some pace and have some speed. The 98 to pit road as well. I think he is getting tires and fuel and is back on the lead lap as well. Gary Sargent would be your lucky dog this time by if he doesn't take a free pass here. As he was looking to take a free pass. So was the 67. So a nice job by Emily for being out there, still working on the craft of that 67. Up to 14th where she started. She had fallen all the way back to 17th or 18th. I'm sorry, no, 17th. And from 17th has been able to work herself back in there and got her fast repair, got a brand new car. No doubt try to be fast here.
So interesting to note there, Davey Hendricks is going to be 1 lap down. So he is going to be in a position where he needs to either hope for a caution or just go out there and race hard and get up to the lead and hopefully get his lap back.
Battle for position. No doubt. I mean, he came to pit road. He took his fast repair. He's going to go ahead and take fuel. He just got tires. So with that little bit of a skid that he had, I don't think that he really took too much off of the tire there. I think he should be fine to be able to compete where he's at. No doubt Gary took the free pass, so he's going to be behind Actually, Gary's going to be on the lead lap. So if anything were to happen, Davey Hendricks is your lucky dog now. 118 of 166, and boundaries are about to be pushed.
Yeah, we got Will Jester, one of the core group of NTRL up front with Scott Kelly on the inside. Scott Kelly doing a really, really good job tonight. Is going to be your control car for this restart.
34
Scott
goes.
Kelly goes.
How quick does new tires take over here? Some of these drivers might be out of tires. No, I think we still got 4 sets. So we got 4 sets. Some of these drivers still have a set. So we're going to look about 3 wide. 21 to the outside. 3 wide for Malarkey and Kendall Kerr. Malarkey battles back to the inside. 21 to the high side. 45 there to the bottom. Huge run from the 45 as he gets around. 34-74 still side by side. Kendall Kerr making it work to the outside. Malarkey trying to have his day. That's one win. Kendall Kerr needing a win here to, like you said earlier, solidify his statement that he did earlier in a previous season, being last season's champion. Wants to have that fantastic day. Ollie turn off the racing surface there for a moment, but he is back on and running. There's a 97 back to the high side. 21's going to push up the racetrack. And these two are going to be dog-legging it. And the more they battle, the more that everybody behind him is like, hey, we're good.
Yeah, you've got Davey Hendricks all the way up to 4th on track, so he's got 3 cars ahead of him until he can get on the lead lap just straight on pace. Yeah, Ollie Turin just coming off of turn 4 on that restart, just spun, kind of went in the infield. There's a pretty nasty jump there. He got some air, but landed on all 4s and kept on trucking, and he's rolling and all good to go. But we got Kendall Kerr on the inside of Justin Malarkey. Kendall doing a really, really good job of just kind of keeping it in that bottom lane and not washing up and just keeping the car underneath of him. Looks like he's doing a fairly good job of just kind of keeping that rear end happy, exiting the corner. Justin Malarkey is going to have a lot easier time of doing that, but he's not going to be able to charge the entries and potentially clear like Kendall can on the entry. As we see Kendall kind of edge ahead a little bit entering the corner as Malarkey kind of equals out, and you're going to see Kendall kind of get ahead right here. That's what Malarkey can do on the exit. Malarkey starts coming up, and Malarkey got very, very close to the back bumper of the 21, and the 21 clears himself. Kendall Kerr to the lead.
Kendall Kerr, just Malarkey battling it out quite a bit. It's going to allow Al Corey an opportunity here because those two were duking it out for so long. You got to know that those tires are going to be worn out. Higher line on this racetrack wears your tires just a little bit faster. And so we'll see Kendall Kerr as he ate away there for a moment, try to battle back himself, try to keep himself out front. Malarkey very fast. We saw how fast he was earlier. Kendall Kerr is going to have to really, really keep an eye on what's going on in front of him because any moment for Malarkey, Corey, or Hattenbach to get themselves in the mix here, they're going to take it. As this race is far from over. Davey Hendricks trying to run around this racetrack and put himself into the mix.
Yeah, Davey was given that spot by Al Corey. Al Corey told him to go on the inside of that last corner, and he does. So he's going to keep his eyes up on the 2 cars ahead of him and see if he can get ahead of them because it looks like the opportunity for caution is not guaranteed. So he needs to get up there and kind of fight to get back on that lead lap. He's setting some good pace right now. His last lap time was just a little bit faster than Justin Malarkey ahead of him, and a little bit quicker than the leader Kendall Kerr. Running really, really good pace this entire race. So him getting up there looks like it's definitely possible. So keep an eye on the 88 of Davey Hendricks. And then what does Justin Malarkey and Kendall Kerr do when he gets up there? Do they race him, kind of keep him a lap down? Because they know that he's the competition, but he just got into the wall a little bit on the backstretch.
Absolutely, you race him hard, because if he's a threat to get out in front of Kendall Kerr right now and have a little bit of clean air, that's what you do. You race him hard, and I hate to say it that way, but he's in contention to be an 8th spot right now, and that's a big points difference when it comes to Kendall Kerr and Justin Malarkey. Malarkey 3rd in points now, needing those extra points to be able to battle for a championship here, especially over the course of the next basically 5 races. I'm wanting him to be where he's at. I want Hendricks to be an 8th. That's where I want to be. I want those extra points. Kendall Kerr, though, 0.3 of a second over Justin Malarkey. His lap times 22.97, 23.01 for Malarkey. Davey Hendricks, 23.16 this last time by, but he has a lot of things going for him. And that could be the fact that maybe a caution comes out with about 35 laps to go here.
The 98 of Hottenbach has got on the rear bumper of Davey Hendrick. He's kind of putting some pressure here. He's running the higher line and cutting down and getting some really good exits here on the front stretch here. He's just kind of keeping that mirror full of Davey. As Davey's not really been closing in that much these last couple laps with the 98 on their rear bumper. Looking up front, Justin Malarkey is starting to close a little bit back in on the back bumper of Kendall Kerr. Looks like Malarkey's kind of running a more constricted entry. He's kind of running a little bit of a wider exit as we see him get very close to the wall there coming off of turn 4. We've got a lap car of the 48 of John Crutchley. Let's see how they navigate by the lap car as he stays on the high side. Looks like Kendall is going to go onto the outside. Nodge stays on the bottom. Kendall tries to go to the outside. Nodge is coming up a little bit. Kendall's going to look on the inside to try to go on the inside of Nodge. Kendall dives to the inside. Let's see if Malarkey can follow or if Nodge is going to be able to cut down in front. Malarkey gets alongside the 48. He's going to pass him.
Malarkey had the better entrance there when it came to 1 and 2. Kendall had the better entrance and exit for 3 and 4 with the 48 there. So the 48's going to be in 13th. That's John Crutchley there. Kendall Kerr right there with the 28 of Gary Sargent, trying to put Gary a lap down here, side by side for the 21. Now Kendall gets into 3 and 4. 97 better entrance here, but I think that checkup, that slow up is going to be exactly what you're going to need here. Low entrance, low exit. That's what you need. Maybe a little bit more of an egg shape as Kendall Kerr tries to lead. 98 catches some pace here right behind the 88. I would take, if I'm the 98, I'm following the 88. Even though the 88 has some right side damage and he's got a little bit of that tire wear that he didn't want to have from that self spin that happened earlier, which goes to show just how much these cars can step out on you. No matter what skill you have, no matter where you're at on the racetrack. You get some new tires and they're cold. You get on that racetrack and this thing is catching some temperature. That's when you start seeing little things like that become a mistake. Davey Hendricks up to 7th now as he got around the 28 of Gary Sargent, still a lap down. Kendall Kerr out front. Malarkey right there in the mix, 138 of 166.
Yeah, potentially by the end of the race, he's going to have an opportunity of potentially getting up into 6th place as William Jester is about a third of the racetrack ahead of them, and they're catching him kind of consistently over the run here as we see Kendall Kerr kind of getting a bit of a wide exit there. Malarkey might have a chance here diving on the inside of turn 1. He's going to take it. Kind of does a little bit of a fake out, makes Kendall go a little bit wider than he maybe was hoping to go. Enter into the corner a little bit deeper. Yeah, Malarkey's able to kind of get onto the back bumper here of Kendall as we see him go to the high side here. He's going to look on the outside. He's not going to get the exit to get onto the outside, but he might get a good run down the front straightaway.
I think the 97 right there had to check up to stay out of the back bumper of the 21 as these cars are starting to get tighter and tighter. They came in 114. That means 26 laps at Richmond. 97 trying to steady the brake there. I saw the little shake there, maybe a little bit of free for the 97 as Kendall Kerr gets himself into the mix. That's something that Kendall can do as well. If he can take the line away, he can force a huge checkup behind him. And what that does is it keeps Justin Malarkey's brakes too hot to get into the corner correctly and keeps those tires very much spicy on the front as you see a little wiggle from the nose of the 97 behind your race leader, the 21 of Kendall Kerr.
Yeah, Malarkey's trying to get that very, very good exit, but is he taking up too much of his time entering the corner? He's kind of doing this wide arc onto the backstretch, just kind of getting out wide, and it's kind of getting this like kick out entering to where he's not really getting the car settled or pointed in, maybe when it should be.
I think he's trying to do something different to make Kendall Kerr do something different, and that's what you're seeing out of these. And I see this out of a lot of drivers that drive short. They're really good at short track racing. The guy in front of you is going to keep you where you're at if you continue to follow the same line that the guy in front of you is doing, and you're going to be at base. So maybe trying to figure some things out here. Kendall Kerr doing the same thing. He's able to hold that second lane with a little bit lower exit here, and the pace that you continue to have here is going to be that of about a 0.3 of a second difference. Malarkey needs his bumper right there to the back bumper of the 21. 21 has a better exit there. Look at the speed he gets on the back straightaway.
Yeah, Malarkey changed his lineup that time. He's going for a more constricted entrance. He's kind of painting that inside line, getting a very, very good entrance, but not getting quite as good as an exit. But it looks like he's hanging maybe a little bit closer than he was the last couple times around, where he was kind of doing that wider entrance. Kendall's doing a fairly wide entry into turn 1, kind of running a little bit above that white line in the middle of 1 and 2. He's currently running just a little bit below that white line in 3 and 4 as they're working on Will Jester. Davey Hendricks is about a straightaway behind the two of them, so they're going to have he's going to have a shot at getting another position here. Will Jester's got some rear bumper damage as Malarkey's got to make a good shot here to get by him quickly. As the laps are running out. We're inside 20 to go this time by, so the laps are quickly counting away here.
Kendall Kerr, when he changed his line about 3 laps ago, he pulled about 0.2 of a second very quickly over Justin Malarkey. So Malarkey is going to have a full send kind of moment here. No more holding back. 20 laps to go here. No Total Racing League Xfinity Series Sunday night racing. Tomorrow night, IVRL Pinkett. No, not Pinkett Ford. We used to do Pinkett Ford. That's just part of my vernacular, folks. I love the PinkettFord.org family. But anyway, the IVRL HMG Innovations Truck Series on Monday nights. The Goat Racing League on Tuesday nights. Winston Throwback Series on Thursday nights. Chop Shop Racing League on Thursday nights. Then back at it with the podcast on Friday. Then Saturday, we're going to have the Goat Racing League again. Then we will have our triple header next week. Next Sunday, we'll have the Chop Shop Next Gen Series Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern. Then the Outcast Racing League will be back in action as well. And we'll be back here for the No Toad Racing League Xfinity Series. I do believe, unless the schedule's changed, I haven't heard or haven't seen, so it's all good. I think we're going to be back to racing. It's going to be fun. I like this league, and I like what they're doing here. And the racing has been pretty darn clean. Only 2 cautions today, as Kendall Kerr looks to have 0.7 of a second. Malarkey tried to get back to it, tried to battle back, but I tell you what, his best feeling right now is the fact that Davey Hendricks is in 6th, a lap down, and he's going to have a few more points to add to the total. He definitely wants the race win, but Kendall looks to be very strong here. 16 laps to go. Huge run. Al Corey in 4th.
Yeah, we've been about 2 laps ago. Malarkey's been better the last lap or so. Watching him kind of exit off on a turn 2, he's been kind of laying down some rubber. You can actually see the rubber coming off the inside left tire. Actually just marking the ground coming off of 2. So he's getting very, very aggressive with that exit. Kind of last couple laps has been a little bit more casual. You can kind of see the rear end just kind of staying straight, not really yawing the thing out too much, just kind of focused on getting a clean exit, which is very important here at Richmond. Trying to set himself up to hopefully get a good run here on Kendall Kerr kind of coming into these final couple laps.
Kerr better on 51, 50, 51, 52. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm correct. I am correct. I was reading a number wrong. The only lap Malarkey was better than the last 5 laps, 149 by about a 10th. Everything else has gone Kerr's way and has continued to do so. Malarkey is going to fall back another 10th here. It does look like, as we have the laps wind down. Little lap traffic giving way. Not making anything difficult for these guys. They're just going to have to enter and exit a little bit better. Kerr, Malarkey, Hadenbach, Corey, Kelly, Hendricks, Jester, Robinson, Benson, and Gary Sargent, your top 10 so far. And Jester having a good race, up 3. Davey still off 5. Scott Kelly still your biggest mover of the race right now, 5.8 seconds. No doubt wants to finish ahead of the guy that's trying to track him down. But Davey Hendricks still has a lot of traffic in front of him as well. Kerr, Malarkey, 12 laps to go, 1.2. I think Malarkey's just kind of settling in and knows that's where he's going to be at, as he's going to have to hold off now the 98, who's following the 88, not far off.
Yeah, Davey's getting a good run here. He's going to have a chance at moving up another position to get by, or no, actually, that's not for position. That's Gary Sargent going 2 laps down this run since the caution came out. Looking at the YouTube chat, you got Brian Cooper saying all I had to do was compliment Kerr's paint, and he's going to go off and win this thing. Yep, Cooper, seems like anytime you talk good about someone's paint scheme, they do something, so please compliment me more on Monday. Ileana Speed says, when are we going to see Sexy Waltrip out on the track again? I do not know. Depends on how things go. I do intend to finish off the rest of the season and do the broadcasting because this is pretty fun.
Bomb Dude, Kendra, thank you for the likes out there again. Amar, giving us some more RC out there. Amar, race controller. What a good dude. Fantastic guy. Bud Shear, bread and butter. Where's your invite? But I tell you what, Bud, they have some rules about getting into this series, and I'll have to let Kyle tell you about that. But the fastest lap of the race is at 22.52, and that is done. I'm tight. Yeah, 22.52. I'm just double checking, going through 22.50. And that was done by the 98, the guy you're watching. 22.50. Fantastic race. Fantastic lap.
Kendall getting the lap traffic here. He's got held up just a tiny bit. There was that last corner by the 34 of Douglas or Scott Kelly. He's now looking on the inside of the 42 of Jason Benson. Just getting by those two. Now there's 3 lap cars in between Malarkey and the leader. Malarkey's fallen off just a little bit here. Got a couple laps left in the race. All Kendall has to do really is just kind of keep the car straight, make sure he doesn't do anything egregious with the tires, and he should be able to kind of hold on to the gap he's currently have.
We saw cautions become a factor yesterday. Speaking of which, yesterday's race, the league versus league action, we're going to have the race 2 coming up here, I'm sure, in a couple of weeks. They're going to give me an update on that this week. Right now, the GOAT Racing League has a small lead over the Chop Shop Racing League. That happened yesterday. Interesting race, interesting set of circumstances. And I tell you what, a great job by Jeff Ramsdale for holding on for the win. Cautions can really dampen strategy, and that's what happened yesterday because Chop Shop Racing League had 7 of their drivers inside the top 10, and they had 11 drivers inside the top 15 before the caution came out, and then everything kind of switched angles, and that was absolutely an interesting race to see. If you haven't checked it out, go watch it. Also, check out toxicity in gaming, part of the topic of what we talked about on our podcast this past Friday. You can find it on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. Please go back over there and check and watch it. You can see what I look like. And of course, and always listen to these guys talk about their leagues, and we talk about everything gaming as well, not just iRacing, but of course, what's going on out there in our favorite games. Kendall Kerr, 3 laps to go, can solidly just take his time. Malarkey helped out with that broadcast yesterday too. It was very, very fun, very entertaining, and I tell you what, if I have Saturday and Sunday co-commentators like this, I'm going to be very happy because it gives my voice a little bit of a break. We just got to have high-impact racing. I want to see more side-by-side right now. But 2 laps to go. Kendall Kerr's did a great job. And tell you what, that caution changed everything and made this run what it is today.
And the wall in the backstretch.
2 laps to go. Make it white flag this time by for the 21.
Yeah, Kendall Kerr had a really, really good season last year. Was able to come out to the final race and have just a little bit to do. Nothing too crazy going into Homestead. Had a fairly straightforward race, was able to lock up his championship fairly early on, and is going to come off of turn 4, and he is going to win at Richmond International Raceway. Yeah, we were talking about potential cautions coming out late there. We had Jason Benson getting in the wall, coming to the white flag. Very, very close to potentially coming off the wall and maybe even tagging somebody. We saw him also just kind of bounce off the wall a couple laps earlier and almost got into the side of another car or a couple laps earlier to that. So that could have also been a caution. So uh, could have played out pretty bad there to kind of have everybody re-rack up, but be good for the fans at home. But Kendall Kerr is gonna roll on down here, do some burnouts, and enjoy his victory here at Richmond.
Race results. Kendall Curry, race winner. Justin Malarkey in second. Rob Hattenbach in third. Al Corey, Davey Hendricks, fourth and fifth. Scott Kelly, Brandon Robinson, sixth and seventh. Jester Benson, Sergeant Campbell Turin, Crotchley in 13th. Emily rebounds to 14th, and a great job on her for getting out there and slaying it. First race that I've seen her in, so continue to get out here. I love to see improvement. Richmond, a very tough racetrack. Dixon, Lawson, and then, of course, Cooper out there to 16th and 17th. Thank you to everybody out there for tuning in on this race. Interesting turn of events at the end. Of course, it was a great race overall. Fantastic drive lines, fantastic series. As we shall see where these folks are going to go. Let's see. Kendall Curry, your race winner. Congratulations on the race win. Walk me through it. Okay.
Oh.
Kendall, can you hear me?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Congrats on the race win here. Able to get one out of the way, and now second race in the series, putting a damper on some points for some folks out there. Congratulations, of course, but walk me through this race, especially coming down to the wire when it came to having that late race caution and being able to outpace all the field.
Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot we got to switch to push to talk when we're up here. Yeah, it was a really fun race. Everyone ran really clean. I hadn't been able to get down here as early as I'd like to during the summertime with the kids staying up a little bit later during the summer. So it's good to get back and run with these guys. I miss it, and that's a really fun race. There's a lot of different strategies that were playing out. I think it would have been really, really interesting if we didn't get that last yellow. I would have had to save a couple laps of fuel. I think I had like 3 seconds on Malarkey, and obviously I had older tires too, and actually finished with a set in the pits. So on that really, really long run, I think both Davey and myself had almost 90 laps on our tires. So yeah, it feels good. Honestly, just a big confidence boost to pop back part time and not running for points. So, strictly looking for a checkered flag allows you to run the race a little bit differently.
Yeah, good run there, Kendall. Nice to see you back after your championship win. You won the championship, and then you took a vacation. You came back. You had a race at Atlanta last week that didn't turn out so good with that final lap crash, but you're able to come out today with a win. Got a This your first race against Davey Hendricks, and I know you've raced Malarkey before, but have you raced against Davey Hendricks yet?
No, just last week, I got to talking to him after the race a little bit, and I was like, man, we both need to come back for next season. It'll be fun to go head to head. And I had a really good time racing up against him during that long run. I know we had the same number of laps on our tires there, and I know he'd have been a factor if the cautions would have fell a little bit differently there. I know he got messed over on strategy a little bit, but he was definitely one of the top couple fastest cars all night.
All right, and talking about Richmond, tires are very important here. Out of all the short tracks that we have available on the iRacing Cervix, where do you rate kind of Richmond compared to the other places that we go to for NTRL or just kind of any short track that you can kind of think of?
When you get people that can run a short track properly and really break early and get your exit off, short tracks are some of the most fun racetracks on the server. Everybody did a good job tonight. Honestly, Richmond used to be one of my absolute worst tracks, but I don't know. I've just kind of got a feel for it, and the way I raced tonight, I mean, I set the car up with the minor setup that we can do for a long run. I just kind of looked at the writing on the wall that we, only had 19 cars out there, and a lot of the accidents are typically people spin into that front stretch infield, and I didn't think we'd get a lot of yellows. So um, fortunately, that worked out because if we had a couple lap dash, I think I'd have been in big trouble. But I would say I really enjoy like your South Boston's, your New Smyrna's, Five Flags. We try to put the Xfinity cars on those tracks in my other league, and we have a good time with it. We'll actually run heats and dwindle the field down to about 20. So you can run a lot more laps without pacing all night, and you really, really have a good time.
All right, and just a quick final question: are you going to run more of these races this year, or is it all kid dependent?
It's all kid dependent. Just as long as I can get them in bed. I know I'm going to be at the beach a couple of the next 4 weeks. Fortunately, living in Carolina, you can take a weekend trip to the beach too. But so I'm going to make as many as I can, and hopefully we'll be back. Try and get to as many as I can season 23, and maybe Davey and I can go head to head for one. It'd be fun. Be good to get you back and Johnny Brugg and Piercini and the whole gang.
Kendall, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Congrats on the race win here. Give your shout outs. It's your time.
Oh, I appreciate you guys broadcasting. Appreciate, Sarge and all the admin team that help run the league smoothly, and everybody out there that ran me clean. I guess with this paint scheme I was running tonight, I better give a shout out to my crew chief Daisy on the left side of my car there, and my spotter Jackson on the right side of the car. Always good to get the family members in victory lane.
Absolutely.
Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it, guys.
You too. Kendall Kerr, your race winner here. Let's talk to Justin Malarkey, who's going to be your P2 finisher, led a ton of laps today, had the strategy to beat. Caution comes out, and you find yourself try to battle for second there. Tires just didn't hold on to you.
Yeah, definitely. Track definitely changed a little bit on me. Jason, was the 21 on? Did he have tires the same time I did on that strategy on lap 33?
Sure did.
Yeah. So that my mind is blown because that second run, I felt like my car was just perfect. I was able to keep like a 4.5 second gap. In the third run, he smoked me. So it's amazing how much this track changes and just a little bit of adjustments you're out there doing. I mean, he did a great job. He just at the end, he destroyed me. He had like 2.5 second lead. That was impressive. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal race. Y'all had a good thing going there, and I thought for a moment there you were trying to pick a line from him where you were trying to drive differently, and then he kind of changed his line in front of you, and that's when I started to see the big fall off out of that. Old tires, new tires. Where's the preferred line for you here?
Kind of that like a half a lane up, getting into the corners. It's nice to get down on that yellow line, but it seems to work better on older tires. That one time I think you're talking about, I had a chance to get to the outside of him, and if I could, I would have definitely been able to pinch him down, but I was there, but I couldn't stay with him coming out of the corner, and that was the last chance. And then he's, like you said, he had his line, and he was running kind of right where I was afterwards, and I switched it up, and I just started killing my right front.
Yeah,
so he's smart.
He can drive. Well, he's their last year's champion, so he better be smart. That's for darn sure. Justin, it was a great race. Kyle, anything for Justin here?
Yeah, you had a good points night tonight. Led the most laps. You got 69 laps led. Able to get a good points night over Davey. Davey finishing 5th. Yeah, just a good result for you in today's race. Yeah, just how were you feeling there? Kind of that final run there. Did you really think that you were gonna have your hands full that much, or just kind of what were you thinking there with your tires there? Did you kind of think that you were gonna have enough tires at the end, or what were you thinking?
Yeah, honestly, I really thought I'd have something with like 20, 25 to go because I thought I had a good long run car, but he was making the right moves and outdrove me at the end. I I checked my tires here. I had more burn off on these tires on that final run than I did in the middle run, where I think I did like 90 or 80 laps or something. I think I got to like 104 minus 30 from the first caution, so like 76 or something. So it was just crazy how much more wear was on this third run. I just overdriving it and cooked them.
Well, Justin, it's
But yeah,
go ahead.
we made a comment. I think it was either last weekend or the weekend before. Did you add anything new onto the car for this week?
No, not yet. I got to get down here on Trading Paints when I have some free time. But now I found some fun having Saturday night's broadcasts, and so even less time for Trading Paints. I got to get something else on there.
Yeah, it's all good. It is what it is. Okay, hold on. Kyle, Justin, give your shout outs. Kyle, you got to take the last one. So, apparently, my kids are bringing something in that I have to keep.
Ooh. Well,
Apparently,
thanks to you guys, obviously.
apparently, I'm getting a new dog.
Oh, but that's always a fun
Yeah.
surprise.
Okay, I'm gonna let you, Kyle, take this one. I'll be right back with you. Okay.
All right.
Enjoy your dog. Luckily, I'm not getting a dog, so I have to give a shout out to my youngest daughter's birthday. Her name's Navi. It was her birthday today, and almost won on it. So, and I have to give a shout out to everyone else watching. I know they support me every week, so they deserve to win.
We get to hear the enjoyment of a brand new puppy. But yeah, happy birthday to Navi. Getting her first birthday out of the way, and yeah, many more to come. Yeah, good run for you tonight, and yeah, man, have a good night.
Thank you. Go get Rob. I know he's excited.
Alrighty. Rob, you got me?
Yeah, I got you. What's up, Kyle?
We need a good run tonight. You're able to get off that podium finish, get the final step of the podium. Also got the fastest lap of the race there, so you got an extra bonus point for that. What were you thinking there in the final laps? Getting stuck behind Davey Hendrick and kind of having those that final caution come out.
Well, like I knew I was gonna catch Justin and Kendall at all, so I kind of just stayed behind Davey. You know, followed his line. He's kind of helped me put a gap between Al. 'Cause I knew Al was probably saving tires. He's gonna do something that lasts probably 5 laps to try to catch up. So I just stayed behind Davey. I was pretty content with third.
All right, you had a pretty good championship run going here. You've been kind of consistently up. Or You've been having a good season this year. You've been able to kind of have a couple good races going here. You've missed a couple, but you've been pretty consistent in the races you have done. Third place this year, I believe that's your best finish of this year so far. It is. You had a fourth place at Nashville, but yeah, you had a good run tonight, man. Do you have any shout outs for anybody?
Yeah, I like to, thank you guys at No Toad Racing. I mean, y'all always have good series and good leagues going. Signature eSports. I also like to thank my wife for letting me come out here and do this every night with you guys and really having fun with racing with this league. This is probably one of the better leagues that I've been in. Of course, I started with y'all last season, the Argus Series, and did a couple of Argus Series races this year, but I decided I'll finish out the rest of the Xfinity Series and hopefully get the playoffs.
Rob, congratulations on that as well. I wanted to chime in here. This is a cute damn dog. And names in chat. Anyway, let's see. Rob, what a run you had. That was absolutely fantastic to be able to watch you do that. And I wanted to say congratulations as well.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I tried to stay with David there in the beginning. Like I said, I just followed his line and saw what he was doing. And then after about 35 laps, that right front just went away, and there's nothing I could do. And I just tried to hang on for dear life.
Absolutely, man. All right, my man. Well, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you being dominant going up forward. I think we're going to be talking to you more, that's for sure.
I hope so. Hopefully this luck keeps going and I can finally pull a win off.
All right, man. Well, be good. I got to hand the dog off. Okay. Kyle, thoughts for the race? This thing is cute. I don't know what he is, but he's kind of droopy faced. He's kind of cute. He's not a basset hound, so that's for sure. If you'd have brought me a basset hound, I'd have said yes, absolutely. That's for darn sure. Anyway, Rob, I appreciate you. Kyle, thoughts for the race? It was an absolute dream of one, that's for sure.
Yeah, we had just an absolute Richmond race. That's how you describe it. It's a Richmond race where you just got a lot of tire wear. You've got a lot of backwards and forwards. You had a strategy come out. You have people deciding, to go on one strategy when a caution comes out, and other people deciding to go on the other. Limited tires, as always. just kind of constricting what you can do, so you're not just slapping tires on every pit stop. And we saw Davey Hendricks kind of getting caught out on a strategy that put him a lap down, and he finishes 5th in the race. But yeah, just a good race tonight. Good win for Kendall Kerr, champion of last year, coming back out, second race back this season, able to get the win. And yeah, finished out a good 166 laps at Richmond. But next week we're going to go to a new challenge, new type of racing that we haven't experienced at this point this year. We're going to the Daytona Road Course for some road course racing, so no cautions, just straight 30 laps around Daytona. I believe that's also the NASCAR layout, so we're gonna have that front stretch chicane too. So we're gonna have a bunch of little braking zones you gotta get the car right for, and don't get involved and touch those big curbs coming up on the front stretch, little uh, temporary chicanes. So got a good race for next weekend. We had a good race tonight, and hope to see everybody back for next weekend.
It's going to be a ton of fun. Kyle's doing a fantastic job. Richmond was fun, folks. I appreciate everybody out there. Remember, tune in tomorrow night for the IVRL International Virtual Racing League, brought to you by HMG Innovations. Give us a like, follow on all the platforms, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Make sure that you also go find the No Toad Racing League YouTube channel. Thank you to all the chats out there, all the follows, all the fantastic stuff. We appreciate you as always. If I don't see you, I will definitely see you. We're going to see you. We're going to see you. It's going to be good. We'll see you in the next one. Much love.